Sup?
What's up, everybody?
Sup? We were having to grind my gears.
It wasn't a really grind my gears.
Oh no,
it was a heated debate.
No, I've got a segment that's non-Candlepin bowling related from my vacation that I am going to go off.
Please tell me it's TSA, because fuck them guys.
No. I had zero problems with TSA. I had 150,000% problem with budget airlines.
Well, that's because you fly cheap.
Hold on. Not cheap. Spirit Airlines I have no issues with. They're a budget airline, but I don't have an issue with them because every one of their costs is up front. And
is it Breeze?
Nope. Give you one more guess.
Everybody. Happy New
Frontier.
Year. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. How's everybody
Frontier.
Hold on. We'll get there.
Well, Frontier, you might as well put your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye, because if you make it, your luggage ain't.
No, the flight itself was fantastic. I had no issues with the flight itself, but I'll dive into that. Hello, everybody. Hey, Wayne, how are you? We are going to speak about something that Mr. Wayne Petty sent in to the show. So let's do this officially. Welcome to episode 155 of Ripping the Rack podcast. I am your host, Tim. With me today, there will actually be three others, one other person that's not quite on yet, but we'll get to that. We'll go up north, the king of the north, Mr. Calvin Luckey.
Sup, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and New Year's and everybody was responsible and all the best.
Absolutely. Whatever you just said, ditto. And Mr. Brian Athern, the Coastal Crusader.
Ditto.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, it's a Monday. We're here. Happy New Year. Happy holidays to everyone. And Tim's back from vacation. And it's 560 season, which is one of my favorite seasons of the year. So
it is.
I'm excited.
It is 560 season.
So for some exciting news, we have
560 is fucking exciting.
For some exciting news that pertains to everybody.
560 does pertain to everybody.
You're the only one not bowling it, old man. Old man, get off my lawn.
Don't make me turn this car around.
He's yelling at clouds again.
Okay.
What are you doing our president-elect dance?
Exciting news for the show. We have officially extended the invite to Molly and Shane's dad. Mike MacIntosh will be joining us on a routine basis. He may miss some, obviously, coming up on tax season, and he is an accountant, so he may miss some shows, but you don't see him right now, but he is on his way. He will be on in a little bit. He'll be joining us.
Nico, you think he can remove me from the show? Yeah, you're funny.
Well, technically I can. I just don't have to send the invite over to you.
I'll find a way on.
I'm just saying.
I'll share it, Brian. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I ain't getting off this show. You ain't getting rid of me that easy, Nico.
So, yes, exciting news. We will be a 4-person show.
Once again,
we've been looking for that 4th person. Settled on Mac. So,
well, no, we need a 4th. So you could be like Tony Reale or whatever and be like Around the Horn. I mean, that went for 20-something years before it's going to get canceled.
That is true. Yeah, Happy New Year. Back from vacation. It's cold up here in the Northeast.
nice
it's February, dude.
It is?
January.
Or January, dude. I don't give a shit what month it is.
February's coming up. There's always going to be a storm on the 560. So
this is the one thing that I realized. So this is how I know I'm getting old. Is Angie and I landed in Orlando January 2nd, I think it was, late at night. Immediately went to the hotel, went to bed, got up the next morning, and was like, "Oh, wow, that doesn't hurt, huh? That's odd. Usually hurts after waking up in the morning." Went outside, and again, nothing hurt. All day, nothing hurt. Next day, nothing hurt. Got on the cruise ship, went to the warm weather, went to the beaches of Jamaica, went to the beaches of Labadee, went to all of these wonderfully warm places. Nothing hurt. Got on the flight, landed in Portland at, I don't know, whatever time it was, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever it was. Stepped off the plane. I'm standing there waiting for my luggage. And I'm like, God, my knee is killing me. My back hurts. It's amazing how much that warm weather really helps us old people. And yes, Calvin, I am going to hear my own melodious tones tonight.
Oh, sorry.
Or you just sat on a plane for 4.5 hours and anybody would hurt.
Nope. I didn't hurt getting off the plane. Why would I hurt getting off the plane?
Because you're going on vacation and you're excited.
Nope.
Adrenaline is a real thing, dude.
No, I have hurt ever since I got home. This weather sucks. I'm ready to move to warm weather. And
go.
I don't think I like your tone of voice, young man. And I would appreciate it if you just, there we go. Calvin, what do you think, bud?
I'm having so much fun. I'm enjoying the day. I don't like this. Now I'm on top of Brian. This is weird.
Well, that's what Brian likes.
Yeah, kick me out again and bring me back.
I hear Brian's a bottom guy. Are you a bottom guy, Brian?
Big booty Brian.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
I like it.
Wow. Nico, to be real, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than $1 million to build a center in Florida. So,
unless you already have lanes and machines and expendable income,
you're all sorted out.
I wished I had expendable income.
We know people that do.
Calvin,
what's up?
It's happening up in Canada.
What's up? It's warm. It's nice. It's not too cold. It's only like -1 maybe at the best. It's good.
Oh, it's not even freezing. It's okay.
No, it's just a little less than freezing.
Technically, -1 is less than freezing.
Yeah. It's just a little less than freezing. It's just, not.
We all know with global warming, it's not really freezing.
No, it's really not. We had a tournament this past weekend. I don't have any other stats that were given me. I don't think it's been 3 weeks now. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably something that I've missed. If anybody doesn't send it or has sent it to me, let me know. But I don't remember. There could have been some stuff. This past weekend was the 2025 Ross Murray Memorial 580. The defending champions decided to take the year off. Two-time champions decided to take a year off and let another team win. The winning team was, I guess they did a playoff this year. And first place went to RC Frame to Finish Carpentry, who finished third in the round robin. Second place went to Century Honda, who finished fifth in the round robin. Third place went to Avon Valley Lanes, who finished first. And then fourth place went to Strand Alleys, who finished second. So, Tim, stop reading Mike's messages.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, honestly.
Be an adult.
Oh, God, I'm such a child.
Such a child. So that was congratulations to them. High average was Matt Purdy at 125.56. Jerry Dunn was just behind him at 125.3. Billy Gillis 124, and our resident watcher Hoagie was 123.8. So
nice for Hoagie. That's a big average for Hoagie.
He was high average going into the second day, so he must have gotten a little too tired and
he bowled off his right foot too much.
Right, doesn't have the stability. So, but
Calvin, I actually got some results sent to me from the Laura and Trudy Memorial Tournament.
In Nova Scotia. Nobody sent me that.
Laura and Trudy's girls won. They were 20-2, followed by She Unit and the Deadwood Divas. Those are your 1, 2, and 3. It says here, and I'm just looking at the results that was sent to me, that all I have is the team totals, but She Unit had a 549 for the high total.
Nice.
Wow.
But yeah, so that is from up there in Canada that I was sent.
Wow. Appreciate the people who are up there in Canada not sending me the results, but that's okay. You know what? At least they send them to somebody. Coming up, there is the 9-pin tournament, doubles 9-pin. We're getting back into it at Moncton Fairlanes. That is this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. It is 100% handicap, based on your high league average. I think right now the high team is 226, maybe 224. So anything under that, you're getting some handicap. Handicap really doesn't matter. It's the 9-pin is the fun way of doing it, but it just adds a little extra to the lower teams and gives them good chance at making some money. And anybody can win at 9-pin. We've seen the last year when we were doing this every couple of months that the big teams didn't win. There was I think like 5th or 6th and 7th or 8th tie team, 9th tie team or something like that going into it, and they just went on a run. With 9-pin, anything can happen. So yeah, sign up with me or at Fairlanes and just need your name and your partner's name and your averages. Send me proof. I'm pretty flexible. If I can find it, then you're in trouble. But if you want to just send me a proof of an average, that'd be good. I believe there is something in Nova Scotia. Just give me a second to navigate through my phone. The Member 2 mixed, January 18th and 19th, so this weekend as well. They're in Member 2, Nova Scotia, so that tournament's going on there. January 24th to 26th is the Dieppe Men's 560. Last I heard, I think they're at 8 or 9 teams, so they need another team or two just to get it at 10 or 12, try to fill up the lanes. So that's the 24th to the 26th. Same as our Fairlanes 560 if you've bowled that, and same as not the same as the American one because you guys are weird, but same as the Fairlanes 560. So if you've bowled that, you start at Friday, starts at 1 o'clock, and then you bowl till Sunday. You're basically done just before the second game of the championship games. So you basically can watch the first game on the TVs. They got 7 or 8 TVs around there. So you can watch that. And then the finals will be just before that. So that's the Dieppe Men's. The Scotch doubles in Bayers Road, January 25th. Peter Wells, February 1st, Avon Valley Lanes. I guess the Scotch doubles at Bayers Road. So sign up at Bayers Road. The Peter Wells, February 1st at Avon Valley. And then we're into the 560, big Super Bowl 560. So that's at Moncton Fairlanes, February 7th to 9th. Haven't seen or heard anything about how many teams are signed up, but if you want to put a team, contact Dave Warren or Peter Wood or Bruce Landry, and they have all the teams and everything signed up. So that's Canada.
Nice.
I will be there for the 560 with the Huffs.
Which one? Which 560?
Oh, the Fairlanes Super Bowl 560. I was supposed to bowl the Dieppe 5 whatever one year, but the snow made it so I couldn't go.
Snow makes it sometimes.
Well, that's what happens,
Yeah. Lots of stuff happening down here in the States, but I do want to give a shout out. So the cool part about our show is we get to promote like some really cool happenings in the sport. Records, high series, high stuff, right? It's even better when it's our young bowlers, in my opinion, because they are the next level coming up. So I wanted to shout out Haley Merrill. She bowls out of Stars and Strikes. Haley set her high single in the first string of the junior doubles and then broke it in the third string and set her high 3 and then her high 5. So just to kind of show a little bit here, maybe, possibly, if I can get this working.
Do you have some tech support issues, Tim?
Nope, I got it. I done got it. I've got to make that bigger though, so people can see that. Come on. Nope, wrong way.
Oh, that's smaller.
Wrong way. Oh, come on. All right. We can all see that.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, Haley. She had started out with a 116, beat her mother this weekend. Oh, let's add someone to the stage here.
Hey,
Mac.
Hey, Mac.
Fellas.
Just in time. I was just we were just giving Haley Merrill, a one of our junior bowlers out of Stars and Strikes, set her high single, high triple, and high 5 this weekend in the state junior tournament up at Newport. So
I saw that. Congrats to Haley. I saw Chris's post. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Great bowling. I don't know if she's watching this or not, but if she is, 2 thumbs up. Nice job. And there we go. Mr. Mac, welcome.
What's up, fellas? Sorry, I just got home. A little baseball practice with Molly, but
Baseball.
I have a stand-up desk now. I just bought, so I'm actually standing.
But it's snowing outside. How's she playing baseball?
It's inside, bud.
It's inside. Inside
dark.
hitting, dude.
It's also
That's not
dark.
baseball. Baseball's not inside.
Training is. Training's inside. Getting ready for
There is no off season.
There's no off season, buddy.
There is not. There is not. So Mac, we made it official earlier. The exciting news of you joining the show on a I'm calling it a semi-permanent basis. I know that obviously with Molly and Shane sports and counting season, tax season stuff, there's going to be times where you're either late or you just can't make it. But the open invite for you is always there. So no one in the crowd is happy.
I was going to say, how many have you lost? How many viewers are?
Well, we started with 832 and we're down to 9. So
it's all my family.
Came on. It just dropped. I don't know.
Yeah, something happened. I think there was like some big.
There's a connection issue. Yeah.
Yeah, internet connection issue.
Yeah.
404. Yeah, lots of 404.
Yeah, definitely 404.
What the hell's going on in Candlepin Bowling this week? The last couple of weeks, we haven't been on in a few weeks, right?
No, we haven't.
Nothing.
There's been a few things, we did have the mixed doubles, the Augusta Pro Tour, the Pro Series mixed doubles this weekend.
Whatever. Who cares about records? Moving on. Who's next?
Hey, isn't it great that we can almost fill a tournament in Maine? Like Maine, the great north that no one wants to go to?
No, that's Canada. Nobody wants to come to Canada.
Well, I was told a long time ago that no one wants to drive to Maine to bowl. So,
well, yeah, but they like to go to Augusta.
Apparently,
was it filled though?
It's pretty close.
I went up on Saturday and watched the entire first shift and the first string of the second shift. There were 19 teams on the first shift and 19 teams on the second shift, or 18 teams, something like that. Or I don't, whatever it was. They ended up with, I think, 43 total. So again, good turnout, 86 bowlers. Congratulations to Nick Leach and his partner. I
heard Nick carried them.
You know
Nick
what?
His high 10.
Nick hit his high 10. So
I'm just kidding. Awesome. They were both awesome.
No, congratulations, Maddie, on setting the house record, setting your own personal 10. And congratulations to Nick and Maddie on the state record. My only hope, and I don't know because I haven't talked to Mark, I hope they do get that, I don't know the term, ratified or whatever they use with the ICBA or whatever. I know there's whatever they have to go through to make sure that the record stands. I don't remember what it is. It's been so long since I knew. I know they have to go through the Maine State Association. They've got to check the lanes. They've got to do all sorts of things. So as long as the foul lights were on, and as long as we know the gutters are gutters,
Right.
So as long as everything is good, then I believe that record stands. So congratulations to them on a fantastic night of bowling.
Could you ever imagine if they didn't? Like, it was denied. I would just imagine they're like,
Denied.
not a record.
Nothing would surprise me.
Nothing would
honestly.
surprise
and
me.
That's the sad part. Is nothing would surprise me right now.
I would lose my mind. I would flip the whole world on its head. If they were just like, no, listen, you haven't fouled in 17 years, but we feel like you probably went over the line a few times, so no thanks on the record.
Yeah,
Mac, you don't need to worry about flipping anything. You're all washed up anyways, so you'll never break any records. You'll never have a table.
I might break something behind me.
Yeah, but you have no reason to.
It would be highly unfair if they denied that record because of whatever. Like,
doesn't it seem like they should put out standards that here's how we will deny things instead of let's just see if we break records and then we'll just try to verify it some way after. Wouldn't it be better if there was like a list of things that were like, if you have this, the record won't count, or if you have this, the record won't count. Other than that,
if your name's Maddie,
records are good.
What's
that?
I said if your name's Maddie, the record doesn't count.
Well, right. You know what I mean? But it's like almost like after the fact, like, okay, now we got to go make sure we had all our ducks in a row. But you could just put all your ducks out there in front of everybody, and then we could, not even worry about it.
I think a hard part is right now with the ICBA or any governing body is they're all in ready, fire, aim instead of ready, aim, fire. Like they're literally saying, okay, well, if it happens, we'll figure it out instead of when it happens.
Right. It's almost like inviting controversy.
But aren't there guidelines already out there? Isn't there the whole you have to be have to be a sanction, and here's our sanctions that you need to have, and here's our aspects. And
well, there are, Calvin, but here's my opinion, and it's just my opinion. So, little disclaimer: this is my opinion, nobody else's. Like they seem to want to hold on to the past as much as possible.
Nope, Mac hit the wrong button again.
And instead of looking out for the future. And that's my thing, is they are so concerned about these records of the past that they put their guidelines out. But as we saw with the record that was broken recently, it takes them like 2 or 3 months to figure it out. And it should not take that long. This should be a 24 to 48 hour decision, in my opinion.
So here's what so when I set the state or tied the state record for 3 strings back in 94, I had to look because I couldn't remember when it was. I know Russ had to call the MSCBP, FBI, whatever it is, like within 24 hours. And someone had to be there that week or something that close to verify everything. I don't know if they've gone away from that. I do know, according to a listener that has chimed in that says eyewitness testimony is huge. So long as people around them sign something saying they witnessed them bowl and can confirm they didn't foul, then that will go a long way towards affirming or confirming or whatever it is, the record. So
yeah, that's kind of what I mean in a tournament like this, right? Everybody's around, all eyes are on, everyone's watching. You know what I mean? It's one of those things, like it's a foregone conclusion. That's a record.
Yeah. In my eyes,
if you bowl that big of scores, people are watching you.
Everyone's watching.
Yeah. And I will tell you, she started out with a strike in the very first box, and she ended with a strike in the very last box. She
throws a lot of strikes.
She bowled phenomenal all day.
Yeah, she's awesome.
According to, so I'm gonna call out Danny Finn, who is not supposed to be sending me messages during this.
Danny,
why isn't Danny just our producer at this point?
Danny's our producer. It says
Intern Danny, as they say on the Kelsey show.
For Jenny's, they needed them to recheck the lanes, and Danny held on to their bowling balls, so those can be checked as well. That they used.
So does that mean that if Nick and Maddie didn't leave their bowling balls at an alley that they live approximately 3 hours away from,
did figure out some way to?
I hope so.
They should. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and if those balls are overweight, then her match against us Sunday at Exeter, we get all 8 points.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
it's going. I'm going to backdate it for like years too. I'm going back.
Mac's going to win a bunch of titles just in league titles
because of those overweight balls.
The cool part of going up on Saturday and watching the entire first shift was, number one, it made me realize once again that I really do miss competing.
You miss trying to win. You don't miss competing. You miss trying to win.
No, I miss competing
and winning, and then having podcasts to talk about the winnings. I like winning. Right. Hey, perfect place for you.
Right. It was fun. I enjoyed watching. I tell you what, I saw some fantastic bowling. I mean, Dave Barber was 1360, 1370. Danny Harris was 1350 to 1360. Justin Waters was 1310-ish. Once he figured out that maybe what I told him might actually work there. It just took him a string or two to realize that, Tim might actually know what he's talking about here. You know, I might have bowled a few times there. So I saw some great bowling. I mean, so obviously Maddie and Nick won. Sonia Johnson, Danny Harris came in second. Allie and Dave came in third. Fourth was Sarah Wright, Justin Waters. Fifth was Cindy Harridan and Aaron Fontaine. Amanda Carroll, Freshie, came in sixth. Freshie got carried once again by Amanda, but that's okay.
Did Amanda bowl second? I figured she'd bowl second.
Well, I thought she was going to bowl first and second, but she bowled first. Brittany Underwood, Tim Douglas, seventh. Glennis and Joe Smith, eighth. Lord DeFleur and John Winchell, ninth. And Taylor Turner, Scott LaPierre, 10th. That rounded out your money. It was packed. It was busy. And it was fun walking around just shooting the shit with everyone. But it did. It made me miss. And Mac, you got a fan. Mark Weber is fanboying over you.
Yeah, we're having a private conversation too. So if you see me just whoop.
Okay. You know, just if you need a few minutes, just go ahead and mute yourself.
Calvin, listen. You can't have a conversation about me in the chat that I'm right here looking at.
I don't like.
Oh, that's how Calvin operates.
I don't like to interrupt him while he chats because then we'll never get him back. So I'm no Danny Finn. I just like to comment when I can, and you know. So
it's the haircut. Thanks, Mark. Get the buzz on for tonight.
And apparently, I have I left some people on red on things and didn't respond. So my apologies, public apology.
There's no excuse for that. If you read it, you should at least reply.
And I do want to, yes, a special shout out, Mark Weber. Vanessa carried you to a 29th place finish. Yeah. Great job.
If Mark Weber would listen to me and bowl properly, he'd be a superstar.
Listen. We all know that any advice you give is great until it comes to Augusta.
No, I'm good. I'm good no matter what.
I don't know if I've seen you throw a strike in Augusta. Maybe once, and it was dead full.
I don't throw strikes, man. I don't throw strikes. It's just not
you have
me.
a 200. You have to throw strikes to have a 200.
No, that's not true. It's impossible.
No,
that actually is true. You have to throw at least one.
Yeah, you have to throw a double to get it. No, actually, technically, you don't have to throw a double.
You just throw 5 strikes.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's not true.
No,
it's not true. It's impossible. I don't throw strikes, so it can't.
My dumbass threw 4 in a row and couldn't get 200. So yeah, yay.
Nope. So again, saw some really good bowling this past weekend. So that was
Charlie's reaction too, Calvin.
What else? Shitty. What else? We've got let's see, some upcoming stuff.
We can talk about Mr. 11 time. He's already in the chat. We can talk about him. Him and his partner.
Oh, the donation fund that they've been receiving.
Yeah, the donation. Yeah, the little bank they've been collecting for the last 11 months.
Part-time job. They each got a W-2 coming for this.
Yeah, right.
You would know that.
Tax man is coming.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh,
Matt's gonna audit you.
I'm sorry, I'm slow. It took a
You
moment for
are.
me to figure out we were talking about Mark and Jeff.
We could
Yeah.
see by your face.
Yeah, we could understand it. Don't worry, Tim.
Yeah, you had that going on. Have there been any close ones? I mean, when was the last one? I remember
they won
I
one
mean,
by
Matt-
like 5 pins, I think, wasn't it? I think
Maddie and Amanda, that was close through.
that was
8
I
or
think the
9.
closest one, wasn't it? Recently in this run.
Yeah, I don't know their scores. I haven't looked to see if anyone went. If Jeff or Mark have gone 2,500 or one went 13, the other 12. I have no idea what these scores are, so I don't know what we're talking about for scores other than they've won. So that's it. Who's the next? Do we know who the next match is?
There's like 10,
Isn't it?
10 teams in the waiting list. It's like all the people that just bowled them are right back on the list again.
How about we get I don't know, Surratt and Barber or Calvin and Corey come down.
That sounds like more
Corey's
donations.
not coming
These are
down.
more donations.
Listen, I tried, but Corey.
Okay, Morrison and Norcross on the 16th.
Morrison's straight out of retirement.
Straight out of retirement, right into a money match.
And then I think myself.
Guy hasn't bowled more than 3 strings in about 8 years. He'll probably come in and go 13.
No, he bowled the once a month last year in Augusta, so he bowled at least 10 strings a month.
Okay,
for a while.
Okay, so take that 1380 and bring it down to a 1280 now because he actually bowled a little bit.
Right.
We've got signups for the Candlepins for Cancer, which is at Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury. That begins this Wednesday, January 15th at 3 and 6. The other roll-off dates are Saturday, January 18th, Sunday, January 19th, 1 and 4. Wednesday, January 22nd, 3 and 6. Saturday and Sunday, January 25th, 26th, 1 and 4. Live show Saturday, February 8th at 10 a.m. Check that out on Candlepin chat or go to Candlepins, 4, cancer.com for more information.
You say the show was February 8th?
The live show is on Saturday, February 8th at 10 a.m. So no, Brian, you cannot go down and try to qualify because you will not be.
That was what I was thinking. Yeah. So yeah. Because Riverwalk's actually drivable for me to do that.
You say we're doing a live show?
No, it's the live show of the Candlepin Cancers taping is the same weekend as the Fairlanes 560. It's Super Bowl weekend.
Oh yeah.
So
let's see, Maddie, good question. Hold on. Just catching up. I don't believe the foul lights were. Oh, that sucks. So how would that work on record? Only reason I know this is because I saw someone go over and they didn't go on.
Oh, wait.
Maddie, if I had to make an educated guess, Danny kind of mentioned it earlier. If there were witnesses, those that bowled around you that would testify, so to speak, write a little statement that you didn't foul, things like that. I think that would go probably a long ways towards ratifying or confirming or affirming or whatever it is that the state has to do. That would be my uneducated guess on something like that.
Seems logical.
At this point, I mean, how many houses have working, and by working, I mean they work all the time, functioning foul lights? Honestly.
I have no idea.
I don't. There's none in Canada, I don't think.
I mean, there's one thing when you go over a foul, when you're over the foul line by 1.5 feet. There's another thing if your toe hits the foul line.
And if they're not on and they don't work in the majority of houses, how is that still and unless it's called on you by an official or by someone that is bowling the match against you? Like how can we even deem that legitimate at this point? Like If people around you state you didn't foul, okay. That's all you can go by if the foul lights don't work.
I know a couple of years ago, I want to say it was in Moncton, there was a grievance or close to a grievance about someone going over the foul line or going to the foul line, like going over by, their toe. And they were basically told, next time we're filing a grievance if it doesn't stop by the other team.
Which is what it should be.
Yeah.
Right.
Just as much as
how
it
can
should
you
be
be a
with
certified
lobbing.
house and
Mac-
not have working foul lights? I mean, I don't have a great answer, Nico, other than the majority of houses anymore don't have full working foul lights for one reason or another.
Let's face it. In Candlepin, it's a lot different. In 10-pin, you're never going to, honestly, you're probably never going to kick the ball return by accident. In 10-pin or in Candlepin, we all know the guys that kick the foot. And back in the day when they had the foot pedals, there were a lot of guys that would foul on the foot pedal. Like they'd throw the ball, kick their foot, and the gate would go down because they hit the foot pedal. That's why you don't see a lot of foot pedals anymore. And I know a few guys that kick the ball return just with their back foot when they're coming through. So after time, that's going to wear on the foul lights, right? I mean, they're going to come out of lodge. They're going to whatever.
Yeah, listen, hey, this whole certification thing and houses being certified, there really aren't bodies to certify. There's like the CBA is trying to get going and stuff, but I mean, that's a ways away from, I think, being somebody who polices bowling alleys. Beggars can't be choosers. I just think we're down to so few houses. It's like, we got to make sure that they got every little last wire attached in the wall. You know what I mean? It's good luck.
Yeah.
And Mac, you're a world's guy. You've been in that for a number of years. Is it just me? I think I share a sentiment here with Tim and Calvin, but how are the playoffs don't have an official, at least the championship match of the tournament? How is there no official?
I mean, how do you differentiate that match from any other match during the week? I mean, I guess you could say
it's worth $10,000.
Well, I know, but each match to get there is worth $10,000 too. So,
the round robin is one thing, but I would think at least in the playoffs, but you should at least have an official.
Yeah, I'd be for that. You know what I mean? And then
I'm not against it. I just
to watch the controversy as someone screams lob would be awesome. So I'm all for that.
I mean,
Let's see it.
That's the thing. And that's honestly an issue because we all know the guys that toe the lob line. The foot line, whatever. I've always been a thing. If you're over by a toe, it's not helping you. But if you lob and you only need to navigate a quarter of the lane to hit a pin, that's an advantage. And I will go to the grave thinking that. And that's an egregious lob. But the guys that toe the line, like the first time they're called, there's going to be a absolute, pardon my language, a shit fit that is thrown because they've never been called on it before. But
there's more and more of a groundswell to get rid of the lob line.
That's coming from up north, right, Calvin?
What's up?
The lob line that doesn't exist in Canada?
Oh, I mean, whatever.
Hey, Maddie had a good idea. We got to get a Ralph. You know what? We should get Lurch. We should get Lurch to sit at the line. Sometimes fall over
after 10 strings. That's the only time we can.
After 10 beers, I think I'm going to say. But
that's 2 strings.
But he'd be perfect. He would make one noise and you wouldn't know which word he's saying, but it's a word. He's saying something.
A listener has chimed in that says Sammy and Mac should bowl. Thank you, Trisha.
Trisha. In what?
Easter doubles? Classic. Both of you should bowl the Easter Classic, and I'll come down and cheer you guys on.
We did that last year. Sam made it through about 8 strings before he started throwing his old patent slow ball.
Yeah, well, you guys need to do it again. I'll come down and watch and cheer you guys on.
You just need to get some beers into Sam so he agrees to do it again.
Well, Sam will be having beers, but
no, that's how he agreed to it last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so either Sammy or Lurch, world's official. Those are my 2 I put up there for.
Tim. I'm putting Tim as the world's official. If he's not going to bowl or throw a string like he always says he will, then he should be the official.
Tim needs to pay attention to be an official, and that'll never happen.
I have too much ADD. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but he's already kind of at the lane level. You know, like he's kind of just standing there anyway. So as the ball's
I can-
flying by, he can
Did I
see
remove
it.
them?
So should Freshie be an official too?
Perfect.
Yeah, it is true. They don't need to get down as far as the rest of us. So.
All right, moving on. Let's see.
They can just
Sunday-
stand at the
Sunday,
approaches,
February-
and then it's like it's not
Sunday,
an obstruction.
February 16th. Steve Reno is hosting his 24th annual singles knockout tournament at Bogey Lanes in East Brookfield, Mass. Cost is $30 to enter, 85% handicap. Contact Steve or Bogies to sign up. It is open to the first 54 bowlers.
That's a long drive.
Yes. That's right, Mark. That's right. I'm coming back, baby.
Are they having a 2-stringer for the Pro Series?
No,
Is
it's a
this like-
5-stringer.
Is this
5-stringer
like
double.
is this like a plus 55 and then under 40 type of tournament? Like a
No, this is just a plus 55 tournament. That's why Tim's going to rock it. There's only him in there.
I'm not 55, guys.
It's the Senior Pro Tour.
It's the Senior Pro Tour. There's only 5 entries.
No, he'll lose to
I'm gonna bring
MD.
that back.
Let's face it, he'll lose to MD.
I'm coming back. I'm making a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
We won't. It's only 2 strings at a time.
5 strings.
So, hey, speaking of that, total sidebar for a different day. There should be a senior tour again. That senior tour was awesome. And there's
I
nothing.
agree.
There's nothing anymore. But you know, different conversation for another day. We're gonna get that back.
Well, Mac, you're almost that age.
Into
Max
it,
only
bud.
what, like 43?
You know what? You're not wrong. What's that?
Wait, you only
Oh
like
no,
43?
he's older than 43.
45.
Yeah.
Yeah, 45. I think it was 50 plus. I think that used to be the magic number.
Dude, he's only 5 years older than me. Stop. with
No,
the
Mark.
comments
We
at
bowl
this point.
we bowl 5 strings. We qualify in the last spot, and then you go ape shit and carry my ass for the next 5, and we win.
Mark, you just need to call Sean and ask Sean how to bowl doubles with Tim, especially the Alley Cat.
Well, bowl more than I won't say it.
No, that was the Pro Series where you did not bowl very well, and then you showed up in the playoffs, and someone got tired from carrying you.
We got in.
I hope you guys come so close to making it and then barely miss, and then Mark just goes, "I would have fucking made it if LaPierre was on my team."
Ah,
The 11-time champion.
That's
Probably
true. That's
would've.
11 times.
I do like bowling at Lita. I don't bowl well there, but I like bowling there. So, you know. Let's see. Shelburne Falls Bowling Alley's first 10-string tournament.
Tim, where is Shelburne Falls?
It's near Shelburne.
It's in Shelburne. Yeah, for sure. Vermont.
Yeah.
nice. I like it. Shelburne near Shelburne. I like it.
Yep. It's
I never really got
March 8th, 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. 80% handicap based off 130, 24 bowlers per shift, $100 per person. $1,000 first prize based on 48 bowlers, side pools, high single, high scratch. I'm hoping this is a typo, but it says 5 strikes in a row is $5, and that's if not hit, the money goes back into the prize fund.
Yeah, dollar strike. Come on.
No,
gotta
I
earn
did
it,
see.
for
I
fuck's
did
sake.
see something that someone put in the comments. Oops, typo on that. 3 strikes in a row is what it is. So triple strike pool. You
Or
can-
that, or it was 5 strikes, and they just realized how stupid it looked, and they're like, "Shit,
Whoa.
and all of a sudden they went,
Three's
"Oh
all
shit, this isn't 10 pin."
3's all I meant." Sorry.
Shelburne is in
Shelburne-
Mass, west of Northampton, which is north of Southampton.
No.
Yes, and west of
No.
East Hampton.
I'm going to have to do
Wrong.
some Googling here to find out how far of a drive that is.
Well, if it's in Western Mass, Brian, it's a minimum of 4+ hours for us.
Yeah, you guys are in Western Maine.
No, we're in.
No,
No.
dude, I'm in the triangle of nothing. I have an
Yeah.
hour drive to any interstate, at least.
I feel like there's about 100 million triangles of nothing in that state.
So here's the thing: if you look at Portland, Augusta, Bangor, we're right here.
Yeah.
We're an
We
hour
are
and a half
literally-
north of Portland. We're an hour and a half south of Bangor, and we're an hour east of Augusta.
I drive
literally
an hour to
minutes
league
get-
every week.
Yeah. It's an hour and 10 minutes just to get to a highway.
It's 4 hours and 41 minutes to get to Southampton from Rockland, Tim.
You mean Northampton?
Oh, I put Southampton. I'm sorry. Let's figure out Northampton.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's north of Northampton. So it's not even Northampton. It's North Northampton. Anyway.
I thought this was Vermont.
But I thought it was too.
I think that was, what's that, North? Maybe it's another 2-word
There
place.
is a Shelburne. There is a Shelburne in Vermont. There's Boutwell's Bowling Center is having their first annual doubles 9-pin tournament, February 8th. Brian, you can't go. 10 a.m. 80% of 130. 5 strings.
I'm just
5
trying to
boxes
bowl
of
and
time.
stuff again.
Reach out to Boutwell's for that information. They already have 41 teams signed up. Right now, the max is 48.
Is it? What'd you say? Is it handicapped?
Shit, I just got rid of it. I believe they said it was handicapped.
How would that work?
It's easy. People don't understand it. It's very easy.
Would you just add pins to cap it? I don't know. What do you do at 130 or one? It's 9 pins. So do you do it to like 170? What do you do?
No, you just take the averages and you handicap it based on the average.
I don't know. I've never bowled in a handicap 9-pin because math confuses me.
Something about that one seems weird, but
I'm in sales. I shouldn't know how to do
it like you would a regular tournament. So you just do it. So if Mac, if you and I bowled and we were whatever, what are you like 102? So we were 222, and Brian and Tim bowled together, and Brian's like 100 and Tim's 105. So it's 205. So we give them 17 pins based off of the handicap or whatever. You do it at 100%, and then it's just 17 pins on top of your scores. Just the same as any regular.
Making a bunch of stuff up, but it's fine.
Or how about this? How about you just don't do a handicap?
Well, that's like 9-pin is the handicap to me, right? Isn't it?
Then you cap the team at a 230 or something like that to get in.
But
now you're still handicapping it.
But it's not a fake handicap on every string.
Yeah, there's no pins being given back and forth between teams.
Right.
That handicap isn't an advantage. It's an incentive for your non-tournament bowlers to bowl. And that's what I've come to figure out is if you say something is scratch, you're going to lose 50% of the people automatically, even if it's capped. And that's just my opinion of what I've seen. If you say it's handicapped, more people are likely to bowl in it because they feel they have a better shot.
Danny said we did handicap outrun the bear 9-pin and it worked out fine. Well, that's great. It's still confusing as hell. I don't like it.
It's not confusing at all.
It is.
As long as they lay it out, what the handicap is, what it's to, the percentage and all that, I guess you could figure it out. But if it just says handicap, I don't know what that means.
It's 100% handicap based off the highest team.
You're making that up. You have no idea.
I do. I run this stupid thing.
He's running a doubles 9-pin tournament.
You are not running the Boutwell's Concord, New Hampshire doubles 9-pin tournament. You are not doing that.
No, but he's running the Moncton Fairlanes 9-pin.
Yeah, the one who came up with the whole 9-pin.
Yeah, but like one of your pins equals like 1.35 of our pins anyway. So
actually, no, one of their pins is 0.72 of our pins.
Yeah,
same type of thing.
I'm sorry, but no wonder it was fucked up. Calvin taught Danny how to do it. That's why it was screwed up.
No, it's not screwed up.
Oh my god!
I taught him.
It's the metric system. It's the metric system,
Danny. It's the metric system. You can't do an American thing based on a metric system.
Canada's better. It's just the way it is.
Oh my god! So I have a report from our wonderful listener in Chelsea, Michigan, Mr. Wayne Petty. Wayne sent an email with a report that I'm going to actually kind of read because it's pretty cool. Okay. It's the exhibition Strikes, Spares, and Deadwood Candlepin Bowling is currently on display in the Worcester Historical Museum. He said it is well worth the visit. It's open Tuesday through Saturday until 4. Admission is under 10. They have a gift shop. They have all sorts of things. But the main attraction is the exhibition. It is packed with content. It's only a single room, but it's packed with content focusing on the history of the game since its founding in Worcester. Some of the treasures on display, there was old photos of bowling centers, bowlers, teams, pin boys, memorabilia, jerseys, equipment, including different kinds of Candlepin balls and pins, plus an antique lathe for turning wood pins. There was items rescued from closed bowling centers. There was a mesmerizing video of a pin setting machine taken from several different angles. Plus, to show the exhibition is truly up to date, there is a photo of a beaming Jenny Rowe holding the trophy commemorating her record 210 game. Bowlers can also try their hand at a miniature Candlepin game featuring an 8-foot lane with miniature pins. Although the miniature plastic ball is of 10-pin type and doesn't really go with the rest. But anyway, he did mention that visitors who want to hit a pub afterwards can walk to, I don't know, Moyna's? Moynagh on Exchange Street. It's a former bowling alley where the bar tables are made of maple wood reclaimed from the lanes. So, yes,
cool.
He did say it is well worth the visit. It is open until March 29th. So, thank you, Wayne. We appreciate that.
It's quite the report.
That is a report. And I just want to, if you guys will just oblige me just for a second. So I think, no, this is not a bad thing, Brian. And I think you'll agree with me on this. So most people know that I have plugged 207 Productions on this show several times over the past year.
And I always will.
207 Productions is my youngest son's kind of part-time job. It's his own company. He goes out and films local sports.
Don't undersell him. He films
I'm not
the Maine Red Claws.
He's done the Maine Celtics. He just did the UMaine men's basketball team. I just want to show a couple of his pictures from the UMaine game that I thought were really, really kind of cool. So,
and he's done numerous shoots with Cooper Flagg. For those of you that follow college basketball, Cooper is probably the #1 pick in next year's NBA draft. He plays at Duke, which go Duke, and he's a Maine guy. Cooper.
So this is a few of the pictures he got of UMaine versus Binghamton up at the pit at UMaine a couple weeks ago.
God, the pit is such a cool place to watch a game at UMaine. By the way,
It looks like a hockey arena.
Well, that's what it was back in the day. It's the field house. They used to bring the ice out.
Yeah.
And now they do it as the pit, and you literally sit up and look down at everything. And being a UMaine alum, the pit is awesome. Just to go watch something.
I've never jumped that high in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm lucky if I can jump over the Knox County phone book, which is where the county that Tim and I live in.
So these are just some of the pictures he took. I will. Some of these are just. I think that's such a cool shot right there, just from looking above, looking straight down. So anyway, and with that one, which I think is pretty cool as well. But 207 Productions, check him out on Instagram, check him out on Facebook, Twitter. He is available. I can't remember what his rates are for anyone local that wants him to film their child playing sports. He's done everything from
if your kid is looking to go into college athletics and needs a highlight film, 207 Productions is the place to go. Honestly, Jordan is going to get the best shots. He's going to put together the best reel. He's going to know what the coaches are looking for.
And he's done everything from high school to middle school. He actually did a cheerleading competition last year, all the way from 5-year-old cheerleaders all the way up to high school seniors. And it was actually pretty cool. He was like, I was a little bit nervous about that one because he's never done like a cheerleading competition. He said it was just extremely intense. But anyway, 207 Productions, check them out. So we've got a few minutes. What do we want to discuss here real quick?
We didn't have a question? I thought you said a question, or maybe that was just Wayne was with his
I don't have a question from any at this point.
Can I throw a task out there for somebody?
Can you what?
Since we have people that do things, that's pretty cool. So I've had trouble getting a hold of, and this kind of goes back to what we talked about for the Worlds and Mixed Worlds and the other big tournaments. But can anyone grab the last few years of the regular, at least for the Worlds, the regular standings for the week? I can't find these anywhere. I've asked Barber. He's trying to track them down. I can't find them on the chat. just like a screenshot of the end of the week standings before playoffs for both the worlds and the mixed worlds.
I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them.
You'd have to dig through Candlepin chat probably, and then
I'm telling you, I've sat in the pooper and tried so many times.
I can
By the
tell
way,
you that the website that Moncton used last year for it has crashed. So I know you won't be able to get last year's unless you can find it on Candlepin chat. I don't think I have it saved anywhere.
Isn't that crazy? It feels like there should just be a place where we just go press the button and find the standings for the
hopefully somebody kept their book. Like, at least
by the way, Mac, you and Sammy, that was to take on Weber and LaPierre.
Oh, so more donations. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Tax write-off.
Sammy and I could find we could find 1,000 other ways to lose $500 real quick.
So
and Encore, correct?
I've got a question for you from Larry.
Gutter
or channel?
Gutter.
Depends on what state or province you live in, right, Calvin?
Sure. I don't.
I
care
just heard it
either
called
way.
channel in Canada.
It's Candlepin Bowling. It's gutter.
It's ESPN is a channel. That's a gutter.
Yeah.
He was asking. Oh, I thought he was asking which one we liked better. I like no, it's a gutter.
Am I weird in saying I don't care if it's either?
I don't think it matters.
I don't like channel. I just don't like it. I don't like how it sounds. It's not a channel ball. It's a gutter ball. I don't like it.
Gutter sounds awful, so that's what I want it to sound like.
Right.
Because it is.
Sure.
There we go, Tyler. World Facebook page probably incoming.
Probably.
I mean,
it wouldn't be bad to have a world's Facebook group, honestly. At least a group page.
I think Barber and Brendan O'Dowd and the CBA is putting together some sort of historical.
They're trying
database. You know what I mean, but it's been going on for a long time, so I'm sure something will come out. But just for this argument and the topic that we've been talking about, I was trying to look up. You know what I mean? Not to call out the bottom teams in any of these tournaments, but I did want to see who'd been consistently landing there.
To continue the discussion of worlds.
Yes.
And what to do.
Yes.
Yes.
The more I think about it, I think relegation is the way to go, honestly.
I'm telling you, I have not talked to a person that has disagreed with that so far.
I
lie. I'm sorry. There's a couple of guys who've been around a long time and do seem to think that maybe it should remain an invitational where the same teams are invited back every year. And that's fine. You know what I mean? I get that there's been loyalty, but few and far between on those opinions. Most of them were for relegation.
I think relegation.
Like you bottom 4?
Out of how many? 12? Out of 12?
No, there's 24 teams.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you relegate by divisions? Bigger discussion, I know. But do you relegate by divisions or overall standings? Honestly, I think overall standings might be the way to relegate.
But I think it's by division because you're bowling your division the entire week. You're not bowling the entire bowling alley.
But then again, you're not bowling those other teams.
Or is it by pinfall?
In the division. That too.
Pinfall's not a bad way to do it. You could just run into hot teams.
But what happens if you have a high pinfall? Or what happens if you have a low pinfall, but you come in 5th in the division? Are you still relegated even though you made playoffs?
Well, no, because you made playoffs.
Playoff teams are automatically back.
Okay. No, that's another thing you'd have to think about because we all know it may be rare, but there are teams that win strings by 2 or 3 pins, a whole bunch of them. And they might sneak in, but they might have a lower pinfall than a team that is set to be relegated.
I mean, it could be a combination of things. It could be if you finish here, then we're going to go to this and look at pinfall type of thing. You know what I mean? There's got to be some thoughts put together on that. And I think you need a group of people to kind of really hash it out. But
I mean, ultimately, this is going to have to go to a captain's vote. It's going to have to because we don't have a committee. It's not like there's. It's not like there's
a
10-person committee that makes the rules and everything else. Everything goes to a captain's vote. So you're going to have to take this.
There's technically a committee. There's representatives from each Like, so there's Davey and Doug Blackler from Canada, and there's Barber and Joe Smith from America. So technically, we have a committee.
Technically, you're right. There is a committee.
It should be an odd-numbered committee, though. You should have one person that is just kind of.
Well, I think we have somebody who's the treasurer. I think Joe Smith is now just the treasurer, and I think there's somebody else who's with Barber right now.
That was just, and I'm not trying to say anything, but that's just to
it just helps. It helps
Yeah.
to break ties. Yeah, it helps so that there's no ties. It's a unit or a majority rule.
Or if you go to a tie, then it goes to a captain. I don't know. It goes to a captain's vote. I don't know, but I think relegation is the way to go here. We now have a big enough pool, at least in the States. Calvin, I don't know about Canada, but we have enough people that want to bowl in this tournament now that may not be able to get on a team. That maybe relegation is the way to go to bring some new life into the sport.
You know, someone brought up the fact that it's an invitational, but I would argue that I don't think it's an invitational anymore. And that was when Charlie had it, right? It was Charlie's invitational, whatever he called it. And
the Milan Memorial is how you won your slots in the States the first couple of years.
But we've moved on from that, and now it's basically just run by the captains. So it's not really an invitational.
No, because once you've got a team, you've got a team until the end of time, until you give it up.
Until the end of time, right. So it doesn't need to be looked at.
That's not an invitational.
It's not right. I don't think it should be looked at as an invitational anymore. I think it should just be looked at as some earned spots. Like there's certain ways to earn a spot as a captain. You know, you just kind of have to figure that out. Whether the captains decide or the captains pick a committee and the committee decides, you know, that's to be seen. But
so here's a longer term thought that I had, and this is super long term. I'm talking like this is like a 10-year plan probably. But you have a Ryder Cup style set of tournaments where you finish, if you finish in the top 12, you would get a captain spot.
Individual?
Yeah, individual, and you would have a captain spot. Honestly, if you have the top 10 guys that usually bowl together, well, now they can't bowl together. They have a team spot, or they give that spot up. It's going to sort itself out one way or another, but it's a way, if you don't like relegation, well, okay, bowl for your spot.
I mean, the only reason I don't know if I necessarily agree with that is because I feel like there's a lot of good captains who aren't always the best bowlers. But, you know, I mean, it's not a bad thought. It's just are you talking about everybody? Like the list of the people coming in?
No, I mean, you'd have to restructure the whole tournament. I was just thinking we all kind of watch golf, right? And I mean, they have the Ryder Cup standings, which are based off a number of tournaments that you play in to earn points. I'm not saying that's where we can go now. Obviously, you can't. But in the future, even if you finish in the top 5 or let's say the top 12, if you finish that top 12 and you say, hey, I'm on a team, I don't want that spot. Okay, we go to 13. Another person says, okay, we go to 14.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give that spot up, you have to be on a team. It's one of those things. Like, I mean, maybe that's the kind of the way it works now. I don't know.
I mean, but, you are talking about a big change.
Oh, I'm talking about a huge change. And that's why I said it's hard enough to get
it's hard enough to get the captains to agree on a single rule change in a year. But I think what has to happen is
it's easier to piss everyone off than to make everyone happy.
Well, you know what happens at the meetings too, and I've been in these meetings, nobody really wants to say anything.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to go against the grain and stand up and be like, listen, we need an overhaul here. You know, it's kind of like a bunch of people say, I don't know, we don't want to do it. And then everyone's like, okay, moving on, next topic. And it's just kind of how it usually goes.
I do, but I'm not a captain anymore.
Well, I know, and I'm not a captain, right? I'm the same as you. I think people got sick of hearing it, but we need the captains, or maybe there's we do have the meeting. I don't say captains meeting, but like other voices could be heard, and then the captains could have the meeting to vote on things. You know what I mean? Like people need to speak up about things. I mean, it's great that we're talking here in a podcast, but I don't think this just means because we're talking here, all of a sudden the captains meeting at the world is going to talk about it.
Yeah, and until someone brings it up, that's all we're doing is just bantering amongst the four of us.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. Like, and we all know the way that things work in life. And if somebody brings up something and the group of people don't feel they're worthy of bringing that up, they're going to ignore them. And I think that's a big part of it. I honestly think, and honestly, I'm a nobody in Candlepin. I've done some stuff, but I haven't done shit. But this tournament needs an overhaul. Let's face it, it's been stagnant for the last 10 to 15 years. The same teams are always there. You can almost pick the worlds from the rosters. That's and right. At this point, it's not, I mean, it's fun to watch because you want to watch your favorite bowlers bowl well. But we all know who's going to be there in the last four, pretty much. Yeah. And parity is a great thing. Some people don't think that. But it would be nice to see these sneaker teams maybe not be sneaker teams. Like maybe a large shift, whether it be a number of people on a roster or the way that the spots are earned or whatever. A shakeup is needed. And that's just my opinion.
I agree with you.
So a thought for another time, for another discussion, is I had this brought up this weekend. Someone asked me what I thought of pinfall at the Worlds and what is the difference between pinfall now versus pinfall, 20 years ago. And I said, you want the easy answer or the long answer? And, that is a conversation for another time that I would like to have, because that's a bigger discussion as well on the game and where it stands. Because if you think about it, Millis, Augusta, where else is people going to see pinfall? Newport?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's not even that, Tim. It's the number of houses that can host the Worlds that have pinfall. Those are few and far between.
Or just tournaments in general. Seeing those numbers from Augusta over the weekend was actually pretty refreshing for me.
Well, that's another thing that we're not talking about. Everyone, I don't say complaints. Everyone comments on how fast Millis is. And, it's juiced up and everything. Did you look at the scores at Augusta and no one said they were juiced up? Huh. Maybe it's just talent.
They weren't juiced as much as the plates were done. And, look, everyone says how Millis is juiced up. I've bowled in Millis. Not a lot. I think I bowled once or twice, and I didn't bowl great. Like, I didn't find it overly juiced when others were bowling great. And that's because I threw a shitty ball. Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit old school where I came from. When you went to a tournament, the plates were clean. They were done. And they were whatever they used on the plates back then, whether it was lane oil, lane conditioner, or Woodchuck 2020. I don't know, but
I know. I just had this discussion with Mark Ritchie last night on our wrestling podcast, and from what I gathered, he uses dry silicone on his plates.
I don't know what any of that is.
I don't know.
So it's not an oil-based thing. It's like I guess basically what he was describing was the difference is with the oil-based, it comes off on the pins, like an Orange Glow or an Armor All or something like that. But the dry silicone, the whatever it is, the additive, whatever dries up, but the silicone stays and it doesn't come back on the pins. And he said the way you can tell is if you go down and grab a pin, if you're just grabbing pins, they feel different because there's so much stuff on the pin. And I don't know if that has a difference or not. We're getting into science at that point, and I'm not a science person.
Well, back in the day, they used lane conditioner on the plates. You had steel plates; they put lane conditioner on. It lasted all day, but you had to wipe it down and
you had to wipe the balls down. You always had to wipe the balls down.
And those that were bowling good never bitched about being able to hold on to the ball because they took a towel and wiped the ball down.
Right.
Those that bitched about being able to hold on to the ball refused to wipe the ball down. And fine, yeah, you struggled.
That is the one thing I never understood is people like, my hand's all black. I don't like it. You're in a bowling alley.
Yeah.
It's not clean. Come on.
Yeah. Go wash your hands. You'll be fine.
And throw the ball.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a discussion for another day. We're gonna wrap it up for the night. Let's see. thank you, folks, for commenting. Thank you to the team here for a lively discussion. I did not go on my rant like I wanted to about Frontier Airlines. They can suck it.
You saying lose your luggage?
Nope, didn't lose my luggage.
Yeah, they're one up on JetBlue.
However, I will say this. I understand going in, if you buy a budget airline, if you buy cheap, you get what you pay for. I know that. All Angie and I will look for, we just needed a flight home from Orlando. We didn't need all the bells and whistles. We just wanted a direct flight from point A to point B, and that was it. Cost was $140 for 2 tickets. Great. I'll do it. I know I got to pay for my luggage because that's what they do. Fine. Well, guess what? They're $70 per piece of luggage instead of $50 like the others. Okay, whatever. A little high. Oh, by the way, they only allow 40 pounds per bag where every other airline allows 50. So we're prepared for 50. Coming off a cruise, coming off a couple of days in Florida. So we had one bag that was 42.5 pounds and one that was 39.5. Great. I'm going to charge you $100 for that overweight bag, or you can go on the app over there and you can pay $75. And I'm like, are you for 2 pounds? Are you kidding me? It's under 50. Nope. Ours is 40. Fine. Whatever. Oh, by the way, the ticket only gets you on the plane. You still have to pay for your seat. I looked at her and I was like, what do you mean I got to pay for my seat? You got to pay for your seat. I got a ticket. Right. That just gets you onto the plane. So what am I supposed to do? Stand up for the entire flight? So then I had to pay more for a seat.
To sit.
Which they won't take off unless you're sitting. So my $140 flight for 2 people ended up $460 when it was all said and done. And oh, by the way, you don't get a free drink on Frontier either.
You get a free drink on most airlines, dude.
Your Coca-Cola that you want, yeah, that's.
Oh, you meant a non-alcoholic drink, yeah? Well, okay.
Yeah, non-alcoholic drink, and your snack, yeah, that's extra too. And by the way, there's no Wi-Fi on this flight, so enjoy your 3-hour flight of staring at the back of the seat in front of you.
Well, download some shit beforehand, dude.
Well, if I'd have known, I would have.
Every breath you take is like a nickel.
Hey, yeah. I'm going to tell you the corporate thing that's been pounded to me and you for years. Make sure you read your terms and conditions, Tim.
So I will sit there and say, I will never fly Frontier again. I'll fly Spirit. We had a great flight down to Orlando on Spirit from Boston. It was fantastic.
Dude, try being a fat guy and having to buy 2 seats on airlines.
At least Southwest will give you money back.
They absolutely will, and props to Southwest for that.
And you're not that fat anymore where you probably can get away with just 1 seat.
No, I can actually now, yeah. So.
That's right. So Frontier Airlines, go suck a dick. Herpes infected 1.
Wow. We're getting banned from YouTube for that one,
great.
dude.
Hey, can we do like a suck it section every week? I mean, I got a whole list of people.
Yeah. You know what? Get a list going. We'll have everything at the end of the show.
Buddy, this list has been building for 20 years. I have it ready to go.
Yeah. You know the from the Lethal Weapon shows, Joe Pesci, they fuck you in the drive-through. You remember that? Well, that's Frontier Airlines. So anyway, thank you folks for listening. We're going to wrap this show up. Again, you can send your questions, comments, concerns to Ripping the Rack Podcast at gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on, and not even X anymore because screw them. So yeah, Ripping the Rack Podcast. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Brian, where else? How about a disclaimer and where else can they hear us?
Well, Tim, the views and expressions of this week's Ripping the Rack podcast are those of Tim, Calvin, Mac, and myself. They are for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect anything on our families or our friends. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever else you listen to your podcast mediums. And of course, if you are not happy with what we've said, well, there's plenty of bowling alleys and places that need windows. So pound sand until you make glass. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Right. And you can find Brian on Big Booty Brian on OnlyFans.
Big Booty Brian.
Peace out.
All right. See you.